Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Parenting and You with me, Dr. Shefali. You know, whenever our kids act out or they act in ways that are surprising to us or that we disapprove of, we immediately panic, we get into control mode, and we start to label our children as quote unquote bad. When we do that, we don't realize, but we actually create a negative attention pattern where our children begin to thrive on the negative attention we give them, but keep acting out in negative ways, and the cycle just continues. So in this episode, I'm going to help you to understand what's going on when our children act out. And how can we help them at a deeper level so that we can understand the root cause of our children's misbehavior? Coming up next, a mother who wants her two kids to just stop fighting and get along. Joining me now is Cece. She's the mother of a 12-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. She wants them to stop fighting and just get along. Hello, Cece. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Shefali. Happy to be here.
Thanks for being here. So you don't like it that your kids fight. No one does. So tell me what's coming up for you when they start fighting.
What's coming up for me is this feeling of injustice towards my son who's 9. I really feel like it's more of a one-sided situation where my 12-year-old had been very jealous of her brother since he was born. And she's extremely powerful, extremely articulate. And I feel like he cannot defend himself. And I feel this urge to defend him. And I also feel like at this point, it's become a habit for her to pick on him. So every time he says anything, she will just repeat what he says. So it's becoming bullying. I don't even think she realizes she's doing it. Every time he talks, she belittles him. When we have friends over, she makes fun of him. It's just constant. And whatever I'm doing is not working because it keeps happening. And I just tell her to stop and she doesn't stop. I tell her she's a bully, but I know I'm clearly not doing the right thing here. I also had an astrologer I know that you had recommended in the past. I had worked with her and she told me that my kids died in combat in a past life.
Oh, goodness.
And so that my daughter had PTSD. So they're mortal enemies in a past life. So, but here we are. They chose me to be their mother here. So I have to figure out what to do in this situation because I would really like for them to be civil, not necessarily be best friends, but I'm just tired of her constantly putting him down, nagging at him, just being really mean to him. And I know it comes probably from a place of suffering on her end. I mean, I'm separated. My ex-husband gave a lot of attention to my son, not so much to her. So she's looking for attention. She really, and my son is very liked by people, just as this natural aura that people are attracted to. And she's just constantly fighting for attention. Very intense. That's kind of the situation.
Yeah, it's such a common scenario in siblings when one is, getting all the attention. It's easy for him. She feels jealous of him. And one sibling who feels jealous then doesn't know what to do with this jealousy. And it comes out as bullying. Has anyone really talked to her about the fact that she is suffering and she is jealous and that's why people bully and she actually doesn't mean to bully? She's actually very jealous?
No, not in those words, no.
Right. So look what the trap is, right? She's a bully. We keep telling her she's a bully. We keep telling her, don't be a bully. Be nice. Don't be a bully. Be nice.
Right.
But that doesn't stop her from being negative because the problem is not because she is a bully. The problem is because she's jealous. And no one is helping her with her internal feelings. So what I would recommend as a first step is that you need to talk to her and say, listen, it finally clicked. You finally realize, oh my God, you're not actually a bully. You're not actually a mean person. You don't actually hate your brother. You actually hate yourself. You actually don't like yourself. And every time you're mean to somebody else, namely your brother in this case, you're actually hating yourself. So now, every time you are mean to him, instead of me telling you to stop being mean to him, or stop being a bully, I'm going to keep saying, stop being mean to you. Sasha is being mean to Sasha. Sasha is being mean to Sasha. And teach your son, he's old enough. Every time she tells Lenny, Lenny, you're like this, Lenny, you're like that, you're going to teach Lenny, Lenny, just tell her, oh, you're being mean to Sasha. You're being mean to Sasha. Teach Lenny that it's not about Lenny. It's because she's feeling bad about herself. Find her books about why kids bully. It's because they feel bad about themselves. Find a movie about why people are mean. It's because they feel like they are injured. So you're changing the whole narrative. And when you do that, you get to the root of the issue. Bullies are bullies because they feel bullied, because they feel an injustice.
Right.
She's being mean to Lenny because she's really mean to herself. Now, I'm not saying that Lenny should just take it. You should tell Lenny every time she is mean to you, that's your sign to leave the room, to walk away, because she's actually being mean to herself. She's just using the wrong name. If you keep holding a mirror to Sasha, Sasha, stop being mean to yourself. Mom, I'm not being mean to myself. Lenny is annoying. Oh, Sasha thinks she's annoying. And I want you to do it in an annoying way. I want you to do it in an annoying way, meaning don't stop till she realizes that nobody is believing her, that she's being mean to Lenny. So that's number one. Number two, the next thing is to ignore her, is to tell Lenny and teach Lenny and empower Lenny to ignore her. Lenny, time to walk away. Lenny, time to go to your room. Lenny, ignore. See, you're giving it fuel by constantly telling her, don't be a bully, be nice, be nice. Now she's getting addicted to negative energy and nothing is changing because you're not getting to the root of it. And when you keep realizing that she's being mean to herself, that's going to bring compassion in you. Wow, you are really mean to yourself. Wow, there you go, hating yourself again, Sasha. What's going on? See what a different attitude versus, Sasha, stop being mean. Sasha, don't be a bully. You see what a different energy.
Okay. So you're saying, like, in number one, just tell her that she's being to herself. And when you say it's step two, that would be like weeks later. Like, when do you ignore and when do you age? Like, at what point?
Right. So the first thing is to reveal to her that she is bullying and mean to Lenny only because she's not happy inside. And you do that with compassion, with love, with care. You may want to take her to a therapist when you do that. Maybe the three of you can do it together. And when she understands that, she needs to be told that every time now she's going to be mean to Lenny, Mommy's going to remind you that you're really being mean to yourself. And I'm going to teach Lenny, you can tell her, to ignore you, to walk away, because it's not about him. Now you're flipping the whole narrative. You're flipping the whole paradigm. And you're teaching her that we can only treat others the way we treat ourselves. And that is a huge lesson. And you're teaching Lenny that when people are mean to him, it's not personal. Don't take it about you. You be strong about you. And you can teach Sasha that the more you do this to Lenny, the more Mommy's going to be worried about you. And actually, that's what she wants. She wants you to care about her, but she's doing it in such a toxic way. And now you need to tell her, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry you feel so much pain. I'm sure you feel jealous and hurt that everybody loves Lenny, but I'm here to tell you that people also love you and we love you and I love you because of da-da-da-da-da-da. And you can start building her up, which will extinguish her hatred for Lenny. Right now, what you're doing is increasing her hatred for Lenny because you keep saying, don't be mean to Lenny, don't be mean to Lenny, don't be mean to Lenny. So she thinks, there they go. They love Lenny.
Oh, absolutely. It's always, yes. And she should be like a hostage negotiator because she will never give up. She just keeps going and going and going until she proves her point. So it's just endless. And Lenny doesn't even realize it half the time, but because I notice it and I say something, then he will also notice it. But he's so used to it by now, he doesn't even realize it's happening most of the time. So he doesn't really care, except when, we have friends over and now she makes fun of him or she tries to, steal his friends away from him, situations like this where then he will just get really angry. But he doesn't have the verbal, like she's extremely eloquent. She's very smart. And I know she's hurting. And I've always felt that since she was young. Like I've always felt so much compassion for her because I can see that she's always pushing against the current in a way. Like Lenny just flows through life. Like things just happen for him. He just gives, then like people give back to him. And she's always fighting against, the current all the time because she wants to be seen. And I never felt like it would be appropriate for me to tell her you're jealous, but it makes sense. But it just seems like, because everything I'm doing is not working, but just using those words to your child just seems so charged.
Well, you'll do it with compassion and you'll say things like, when I was a kid, I used to be so angry at my friend, but then I realized that it was because she had it so easy and I was jealous. You do it like that. And you'll tell her, you are realizing that maybe this is happening for her. And she'll be like, no, it's not. I really don't like Lenny. And you'll say, well, when we don't like people this much, it's something about us. It's something inside us because you don't have to talk to Lenny, but you keep talking to Lenny. So you want to hurt him because you are hurt. And I think as your mother that it's because you see that he's just a different personality and he seems to just get everything so easily. But I'm here to tell you that Lenny also suffers. He just doesn't tell you, but he cries to me. You can say that just to give her some sense of empathy, but really tell her that now you've realized that she's hurting and you want to help her. So ask her, do you want to go to a therapist? Do you want to go to a coach? And then tell her that the next time you are mean to Lenny, as your mother, I'm going to come to you and hold you and say, Sasha, don't be mean to Sasha. And if you do it in front of people, I will come to you quietly and again remind you, Sasha, don't be mean to Sasha. And I'm going to hug you and I'm going to come and love you. And I'm going to remind you that Sasha doesn't need to compete with Lenny. Sasha is apple of mommy's eye. Sasha is amazing to mommy. And I'm going to do this every time. And I guarantee you, if you do it consistently, gently and privately, she will let it go.
No, that makes a lot of sense because she's extremely competitive and that's why she's competing for my attention. She never had her dad's attention. He gets all the attention. So she feels like, yes, it makes perfect sense.
And you can tell her, you don't have to compete for my attention. I'm going to give it to you. And maybe for the next 3 months, every night you spend just 15, 20 minutes only with her.
I do. We were very close. We're actually very close. We spend time together. Like we're actually very close. We have a very strong bond, the two of us. So
good.
Yes, that really helps a lot.
Yes. And you're shifting the blame and you're teaching her something and you're helping Lenny and you're creating compassion and love, which is what she wants.
Right. Because I don't want it to feel like there's something wrong with her, right? And I actually don't use the words be nice, but in the end, it's still like, stop saying this, use kinder words or whatever. In the end, the message she's receiving is the same, that she's doing something wrong and she doesn't even know at this point she's doing it. And
she doesn't know. She doesn't know. It's just coming out of her unconsciously. It's because of her very hard and hurt feelings inside. And you need to teach her that. Maybe read a book or maybe show her a documentary where kids act out because they are mean to themselves. And you want to help her. And you're so sorry that you called her a bully. Now you realize she bullies herself. She's in competition mode. She's in survival mode. And mommy understands. And that is just going to take away her defense. Bullying is a defense. It's a protection because we are feeling threatened inside. So we attack those we can control. And you can teach her all that and say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry for calling you a bully. You're not a bully. You're just in pain. You just don't know how to express it. It will completely disarm her.
That's incredible advice. I really didn't think about that. I really haven't been looking into bullying. I mean, because I know she doesn't bully other people. It's only to her brother. So I did not really look into it.
Yes.
It makes a lot of sense.
I want you and other listeners to know that if you had gone to a traditional therapist, it's quite likely they would have told you to punish her, to create a boundary, to teach your son to fight back. and none of them would have taken care of the deeper problem. I mean, I'm not trying to praise myself. This is what I teach in conscious parenting, that we are always looking at things from the lens of what's going on inside the child that is leading them to act like this. And so I think this is a paradigm shift in your family, and it's going to change your daughter's life.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely believe that as well. Thank you so much. That is very powerful advice.
You know, what we just heard is such a common scenario in so many parenting journeys. When our children act out or they behave in ways that we don't understand, or they are inflicting pain on their sibling or someone else, we immediately jump and label them and it as bad. And then we admonish them and then we scold them. And what we don't realize is that we never get to the core of the issue, which is that hurt people hurt people. And until we can understand that our children are communicating something, a need that they have through their bad, quote unquote, behavior, we will not ever be able to help them manage what's going on underneath. So addressing the underlying emotional problem or need is always the way to take care of the surface negative behavior. No child wakes up thinking to themselves, saying to themselves, you know what, today I'm going to torture my sibling or I'm going to be really evil. They likely are doing those behaviors because they feel bad on the inside. So as parents, it's our job to kind of decipher that like a detective, to see through the outward symptoms and ask, what's going on underneath? What's a need? What's a cry that my child is longing that we meet, that we soothe, that I'm not paying attention to? And that's how we get to the root of the problem. Coming up next, a mother who needs some help to manage her strong-willed child. Joining me now is Catherine. She says her 5-year-old daughter just started at a new school and she's going through some changes that Catherine wants to help her with. Hi, Catherine. What's going on?
Hi, Dr. Shefali. So my daughter is a wonderful 5.5-year-old, almost 6. She has a very, very strong personality ever since she was a toddler, which I love about her. But at times it has been very difficult to navigate that with a very strong-willed child. Sometimes I also refer to her as with a spicy personality.
Mm-hmm.
So at home, I've been reading all sorts of books to navigate through that, to help her when she wants to do something, she wants to do it her way. She wants to figure it out by herself. And as we try to show her, okay, we should do it this way, she wants to do it all on her own. And, you know, she's been raised Montessori. She went to Montessori school, and the whole process is to allow her. But then she started the school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so here, just to do what they're asking her to do at the time that they need her to transition, which she also has a hard time with transitions.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been challenging to work with very strong personality, spicy child. Again, she's smart, she's awesome, but to give you an example, so she loves to write, she loves to read, she loves to color. And so she starts doing this and it's like nothing else. You know, she's doing and writing and making books. But now it's time to eat, you know. So I gave her 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Then I come and I get her. It's getting better. I have to say that as she's getting a little bit older, it's getting better. But still, I'm not done yet. And she wants to continue and she wants to continue. And, you know, and even though I gave her the time, then sometimes I have to physically take away pens from her hands and said it's time to finish. And so sometimes it goes well. Sometimes I tell her, she comes over. Other times I have to physically kind of remove her. And so at school sometimes happens the same thing. You know, they're letting her know, Antonella, we're going to do this and that. And you have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, same thing. And then she just doesn't want to end that because it's something that she's really enjoying. And so when it happens here, other transitions and other things that we're trying to show her, I start feeling like hot. I start feeling like, oh, okay, and I've done it. I gave her the timing. I told her what was going to happen in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes. I gave her options. You can leave it here. No one is going to touch it. Let's just have dinner, and then you can come back and finish it. And so that is our biggest thing. It's navigate is with her. Yeah.
Right. So, like you said, her personality is to be intense. And when she gets into something, she wants to do it her way. These are qualities that you like, you admire, but yet it creates, a stress when we are trying to move on to the next thing. So, as a mother who understands that this is her personality, she doesn't mean to be bad, but she is just not aware of time or transitions. You as a mother have to be extra creative, extra careful, extra consistent with how you teach her, right? So how can you recruit her to be the leader? So you can tell her, okay, Antonella, you need to tell us all when, dinner time is, and you keep an eye on the clock. You give her the alarm, tell her to set it, and go, you better tell us when is dinner time, otherwise everyone is going to forget. And you give her the clock and tell her to set the alarm, and she is in charge of calling everybody to the table. You see, you recruit her leadership. You make her in charge, because children like this like that. They want to be in charge and in control of, their own body and their own decisions. So find a way to make her the leader of it, by giving her more responsibility, by teaching her how she can be the leader of the house. And at school, she's just going to have to learn at school. That's not you can't be worried about that. All you can be worried about is how you at home teach her to take more responsibility. I think children like this thrive on more responsibility, not less responsibility. You can tell her things like, you are so smart, you are so brave, you are so responsible. I want you to be in charge of when we leave the park. Now, you can set the time here or you can set the time here, but you need to hear the alarm and you need to tell everybody it's time to go, right? You're making her the leader so that you remove the resistance.
I got her a clock that she can actually do it. And so we run into a thing with that, because number one, she will continue even though it went on.
Yes.
And then after a while, then she actually requested to not have the clock anymore. So I gave her, her job is to set up the table, right? So she puts the napkins and all of that. And I get her cute napkins to get her excited about it. So I've tried those things. And like I said, sometimes most of the time it works, but the other times it's a struggle. And then I start feeling how I'm getting aggravated, and then I yell, and then I feel guilty, and I start feeling like, oh my God, I'm just like my mom again. And so it goes, So sometimes I don't even know what else to do, because like I said, I've done the clock, I've done getting her excited with the next thing that she needs to do. But sometimes I'm out of ideas.
Yeah. So even more than the ideas, it's again, you managing yourself and understanding that this child is going to push, this child is going to resist. I need 20 more minutes before I think this is going to be done. So if you're already mentally prepared that this is going to take 30 minutes longer, then you're already setting yourself up for that disappointment. You're not, going to be shocked and angry when things don't go your way. Ultimately, we have to deal with the child we have.
Yeah.
And understand that children like this don't like pressure. Children like this don't like to be told constantly what to do. So we have to deal with the child before us in a way that keeps us sane, keeps our children sane and safe. I cannot change her personality. I can just tell you a few ideas and strategies, but ultimately it is about your internal navigation, your internal GPS. So with children like this, build in that extra 30 minutes. Start 30 minutes ahead of time. And also, I would say, examine your own control issues. Are you trying to micromanage the minutiae, the micro stuff that really doesn't need to matter? Are you able to be a relaxed mother around her? Are you able to forgive her, right? Children who are very intense don't do well if the parent is intense as well. So are you, without realizing, matching her intense energy? Then it's a power struggle.
Yeah, I think so. Even though I try to not show it with or say it with words because I feel it.
Yes.
I start feeling it inside.
Yes.
So, yeah, I guess she sensed it.
Yes. Yes. And if you are an intense person in your life, maybe you need to start watching that and really get honest about it. For example, if you all start eating dinner and she doesn't come, that's okay. You know, you can say, here's your dinner, but we're going to start. And the two of you or whoever's left on the table, the rest of the family, have a great time. Play a game, laugh. And then she's like, I want to be there too. Like, why are you waiting for her? Just go do it. Right. And if it's her job to lay the table, say, oh, okay. Antonella's not the leader today. Mommy's going to be the leader. Just ignore it for now and continue with your life. Have a great time. And I guarantee you she will come. Like, are we being too micromanaging of like, you need to come and set the table because without that, we cannot eat dinner. Now you're giving her your power. Tell her, no, if you're late, you can just put late, you know, like an employee is late, just check it and ignore it. And instead, have a great time. And then she'll be attracted to it. So there's two ways to motivate people. One is to push them and keep pushing them. And with strong-willed children, that often backfires. The other way to get kids to do things is to attract them, to make them want to do it. So I was trying to give you that idea, make her the leader, give her responsibilities. That is the attraction principle. Most of us parents do the pushing principle. You know, do it, do it, do it, do it. But we don't emotionally attract them to us. And when you have a good time, when you are having fun, she will automatically want to be with you. So there's a different principle at play. And you have to ask yourself, am I more a pusher or am I more an attractor? And always attraction works way better.
That's very interesting. I never saw it that way. And yeah, I guess I'm a little bit more of a pusher.
Yes.
Let's do next thing instead of, attracting it and making it more fun, I guess.
Well, you just have to genuinely believe that it's fun. So she doesn't have to eat when you're eating.
Yeah.
You and many of us parents, we focus on the little things. And with strong-willed children, everything becomes a power struggle. So you as a parent have to ask, am I perpetuating power struggles or am I releasing my power struggle? And keep only the really important power struggles as important. Getting up, going to school, and then going to bed. And even going to bed, leave a good 1 hour window with a strong-willed child. See, when we have a strong-willed child, we need to create greater space because they don't like to feel cramped and controlled. So if you understand that, then you create a greater space around her. You know what? She doesn't have to eat with us. She can eat later. Or she doesn't have to eat. You know, like you can teach her to monitor her own body. If she doesn't want to have a shower right now, she can have a shower later. Be flexible with strong-willed children because strong-willed children need a lot of space. That is how they are wired. They don't like extremely intense schedules because they are intense themselves.
True. Okay.
So if you understand what her personality is and how to create the right conditions for her to minimize conflict, to encourage collaboration, right? She wants to be your partner. She doesn't want to be your puppet.
When I click in more with her, now that you're saying this and I think back of other times, she does. When I allow her more to just kind of go her own pace.
Yes.
You know, I wish I could do that like all the time and
I
I was
know.
in that. But you know, with work
Of
and
course.
everything else, you're like going and going. But
Of course.
yeah, the flexibility at nighttime, dinner time, there is more time at nighttime than it is in the morning. So I have to start giving her more of that leadership.
Yes, and save your energy for the real non-negotiables like the morning. And even in the morning, you know, can you wake up with joy and tell her, I'm missing my partner. I'm waiting for my partner. I can't brush my teeth till my partner brushes her teeth, and you can do it together. And I'm not changing my clothes till my partner changes. I'm waiting for my partner, right? You're inviting her, you're attracting her, you are joining her rather than bossing over her. Bossing bossy children never works. Bossing bossy children makes them a nightmare. So you have to do everything but boss her and find a more creative way to manage her. And just remember, she doesn't mean to be bad. She just is trying to figure herself out.
When I see all of that struggles with her trying to push her way through, when I sit back and look, it comes out with something amazing. Yeah. No, thank you so much, Dr. Shefali, because I never looked at it in that way. Like, I wanted to give her more time with this, more time with that, but about making her the leader, yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying that more.
Great. Just remember, power struggles with powerful children or bossiness with bossy kids doesn't work. So find another way to connect to her. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's so great that this mother could understand the temperament, the nature, or what I like to call the essence of her child. You know, when we understand who our children are in their inherent wiring, how they came to us, we can better adjust our parenting to meet their needs. So for a child like Catherine's daughter, who is strong-willed, who likes to be in charge, it's extremely important for parents to know that if you come at these kids with all your intensity, with your power tripping, it will lead to power struggles. And parents need to realize that they too can be really intense. They can be extremely controlling. And we like to pretend as if we're always right and we're always coming with love. But that's not true. Our children sense our controlling energy. And many of them, especially if you do not have a people pleaser in your child, they will push back on that. And then that makes us upset. And then we label the child as bad. But all we need to do instead is look at our own controlling energy, our own intensity. Are we coming to our children with a domination that they are naturally resisting? And how can we better understand that our children, just like us, desire to be autonomous, to be in control of their own destinies, and to make their own choices? I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast. And if you like the advice I give on these podcasts, if you like the insight and the guidance that you receive, well, then maybe you will enjoy joining my Conscious community. It is a 24/7 community where my team and I offer daily, weekly workshops, guidance, webinars, tools, and strategies that you can begin to employ in your everyday life. I have all my workshops there at a steal of a price. Check it out. The link is down below in the show notes. It's called The Conscious Circle. I hope I will see you there. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope I see you on the next episode of Parenting and You with me, Dr. Shefali. Parenting and You with Dr. Shefali is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional medical, psychological, psychotherapeutic, coaching, healthcare, or other qualified professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment.